Welcome back to AFTV. I'm here with Christian. We're live at the Hippodrome. We've just watched the most exciting game of football I think I've ever seen. Pause. Christian, Arsenal 0, Liverpool 0. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a disappointing result and performance, especially second half. We looked devoid of ideas. There was a stat on the screen at one point, Liverpool had 75% possession, but I feel like Liverpool came for a draw. I feel like they were happy with a draw. It's not a good result for us, but in the grand scheme of things, after City dropping points yesterday, it's not the worst result. You know, everyone thought City would beat Brighton. It would be 3 points going into today. We'd have to win to make it 6 again. It's essentially, it's 6 now. It's essentially exactly what's happened, even though we haven't won, City haven't won. So look, I don't want us to be inconsistent, but if there's a time you're going to drop points, it's when you're playing your worst. You know, if you can play that bad, especially in the second half, and not lose. You know, still come out with a draw, still hold your heads up, still respectable in some way, and City drop points. That's the time to do it. So, yeah, disappointed with the result and the performance, but in the overall arch of the season, when we look back on this in May, I don't think it's going to be the game or the week where we lost the league.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, me and you spoke prior to the game, and I said to you, I think Liverpool will be coming here for a point. In the end, in the second half, they look more likely to score than we did. Although, there is a stat that I come across that Liverpool didn't have a single shot on target throughout the whole 90-plus minutes.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's down to our good defending. I think that's down to their maybe poor finishing, bad decision-making. I think Frimpong in that second half, when Lewis Skelly came on, had him on skates. You know, he's in behind a few times. Like I said, poor decision-making, cutbacks that didn't quite find their man. Could have shot a couple of times. Szoboszlai, a couple of free kicks where he didn't hit the target. So yeah, if talk about the first half quickly, I thought it was a lot better. I thought it was quite an even game. Like I say, I think I don't think they definitely sat back. It looked exactly how Manchester City came when they came to the Emirates. At times it was a back 7, back 8. Gakpo was their striker, was at left back. Yeah. I saw Wirtz defend. Everyone was defending, everyone behind the ball, and it suited them. You know, we struggled to create. Saka a few times. I thought he was dangerous in that first half. Beat Kirkes, got it across, but there was no one there. You know, we want Gyökeres making those runs. I said this already. If Gyökeres makes the front post run every single time, he will score more goals than he's scoring. Yeah, instead, he's being occupied by defenders in the middle. He's getting into wrestling matches with defenders. Just lose your man. Make the run. Gamble. If it's back post, front post, whatever it is, take a risk. He's not really taking risks in the middle. And yeah, he's occupying defenders, and I know that's what people will say. But go across the front post. Change it up. Be at the back post. You know, I thought Trossard in that.
To be fair, though, do you think the service? I thought the service to him was poor today, man. I've got to admit. I mean, listen, I understand what you're saying about making runs and stuff like that, but I just think that the way we played, especially today, there's very few centre forwards that would have done anything. You saw when Jesus come in and he looked lively, but he never came close to scoring.
Well, then I think both things can be true. There were times where, he's not going to get service. It is going to be tough. He's occupied by Konate and Van Dijk. They're both on him. And at times, more than that, 5, 6, 7 players in defence that he's got to try and run in behind or hold the ball up. But at times, when we are getting the ball across, he's not there. There were 4 or 5 times in that first half. Saka getting the ball across, Trossard, Declan Rice put it in once, and no one's there. Even in the second half, I know Martinelli was offside, but when he put that ball across on his left foot, no one is there. There are so many times we just need that player that makes that run across and just taps the ball in the net, and we're not quite doing it. So, yeah, like I said, first half I thought was quite even. I thought maybe we edged it in terms of chance creation, in terms of actually dominating the match, but it suited Liverpool more because we didn't really create that much that was open. Saka had that one chance where I think Rice passed it into him and he took a nice touch, but Liverpool had 3 or 4 players diving in front of it. They defended really well. Yeah, and yeah, in that second half, I have to give Liverpool credit. You know, I haven't seen a team do that to Arsenal this season. You know, there was a chat in the comments saying we can't beat the big teams. We've beat Atletico Madrid this season. We've beat Bayern Munich. We've beat Aston Villa, who've been one of the most consistent teams in the Premier League. We've beat Tottenham. Maybe they're not a big team. We've beat Manchester United. We've beat Newcastle away. This narrative that we can't beat big teams is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Liverpool came, like I said, they set up, I think, to get a point to draw, and they've got it.
I think what that person might be referring to is that Liverpool champions, they've taken 4 points out of 6 against us this season. That stat is a little bit disappointing. But my personal point of view is that, listen, it wasn't the best performance by far. But at the end of the day, it's a draw. We didn't lose. We're still 6 points ahead. It's still in our own hands.
Yeah.
it wasn't a great day at the office, but it certainly wasn't a bad day either.
No, not at all. Not at all. It is disappointing. Look, I stuck my chest out. I said we were going to win comfortably. And I thought we were. And I was looking at those big games. I was looking at Atletico, where we scored 4. Bayern, who were unbeaten when they came to the Emirates. We scored 3 goals, and it was comprehensive in that second half. Tottenham, we scored 4. Aston Villa, we scored 4. I thought it would be that in the second half. I don't know what happened in the second half of this game. Because usually Arteta gets into them at half-time and we pick it up, we improve. Tactically, we switch it up. Whether that's, Rice pressing a bit higher, Odegaard pressing higher, one of the Zubimendi pressing, whatever it is, whatever the tactical tweak is, it didn't quite happen, And you have to say Slot got one over on Arteta today, especially in that second half. And yeah, a perfect result for Liverpool. They'll be more than happy with that. I think they're on a 10-game unbeaten streak now. Yeah. Which, if you look,
they're a bit of draw specialists at the moment in Liverpool. I think they've drawn their last 3 games.
But it's better than losing. And a couple of months ago, they were losing a lot of games. They lost to Nottingham Forest 3-0 at home. They lost 4-1 at Anfield to PSV. They had some bad results. So, yeah, like I said, sometimes you've got to hold your hands up and say, tactically in that second half especially, they got the better of us. But like I said, if this is Arsenal at their absolute worst, and that second half was one of the worst performances I've seen from us this season, and we still don't lose against a team that won the Premier League last year, then something good is still happening, even if we don't get all 3 points.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, what I would say, though, is I thought Arsenal looked a bit nervy in the second half. There were plenty of opportunities when we could have got the ball forward. We deliberated on the ball far too much, didn't get the ball in behind. The wingers, when they did get past their man, seemed a little bit reluctant to put the ball in straight away. I saw Martinelli do that a few times, got past his man, then checks back. You think, come on, man, put the ball across the box. Yeah. So, yeah, at the end of the day, it seemed to me as if Arsenal were determined not to lose the game. And I can understand that. But we wasn't our normal, energised self. And you could see that. And towards the end of the game, I got the distinct impression that both sides were happy for a point.
I don't know about happy for a point. I think we were pushing.
Do you?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe from the
88th.
I know it sounds so late, but from the 88th, 90th minute, we were actually pushing. That's when we actually looked like we woke up. Martinelli was getting on the ball. Madueke, when he came on, I thought instantly.
Yeah, Madueke had a couple of initial bursts, but I just felt that
it was too little too
It's a
late.
bit of a stalemate.
100%, more than a stalemate. But that's why I'm giving credit to Liverpool. They came for that. They stunk the place out at times. Maybe, Frimpong looked dangerous in the second half when he was up against Lewis Skelly. But apart from that, what did they really do? And what did we really do?
Well, they didn't have a shot on target.
Exactly. So like you say, we cancelled each other out. It suits them more than it suits us. But at the same time, we're 6 points clear at the top. Manchester City have just drawn 3 games in a row. The difference is they drew yesterday against Brighton. We've drawn against the champions. You still got to give them respect. They still are the champions. And yeah, 6 points clear and we move.
I think the disappointing thing from an Arsenal's fan perspective, I'd be interested to hear what you say, is that this was supposed to be our statement win tonight. Liverpool were coming here. They weren't in the best of form, not in the best of moods. I was chatting to some of their fans prior to the game. They were talking about 2-3-0 to Arsenal. So for them to come away with a point is a moral victory for them. For us, we were looking at, really punctuate the fact that we're top of the table. Didn't quite happen. But, it is what it is.
It is what it is, Laurie. We're still top of the league. It's still been a great season. We're still unbeaten at home. 16 games at the Emirates, 14 wins, 2 draws. When you put it in perspective like that, it doesn't sound too bad. So I'm not going to start criticising this team and getting too down about it. We're still top of the league and we keep it moving.
Listen, following football costs enough money already. So don't let your mobile bill mug you off. Rocket Mobile gives you unlimited everything for £16 a month. No nonsense. Powered by Vodafone and Free, plus exclusive content and prizes when you switch on over. Scan the QR code or click the link and put that cash back into football.